Hello, wonderful people, and welcome back to Lifestyle Chats with Alice Barlow. Please remember to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and share. We have the Bell Beauty app. Please go ahead and download because we have all things beauty on our beautiful app. On this lovely episode, we have an incredible woman. She is a wife, a mother, a pediatrician. She's a senior lecturer at MOOC and a Rotarian and so many more things. And I can't wait to listen to her and get to hear her views about different things that we're going to talk about. So at this point, I would love to welcome Dr. Sabrina Kitaka. You're most welcome.
Thank you so much, Alice.
Yes.
Very nice to be here and very nice to meet you as well.
Yes, please tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay, you nearly said everything.
I know.
I am a pediatrician.
Yes.
I also practice adolescent medicine.
Okay.
But most importantly, I am a wife, a mother,
Yes.
a grandmother,
Wow.
and yes, a Rotarian with the Rotary Club of Kampala.
Oh, wow. How long have you been in the medical world?
Ooh, nice question.
Yes.
I've been a doctor since 1995. That's 30 years this year.
Yes.
Amazing.
And you don't look like it, honestly
Wow.
speaking. You don't look like it. When I saw you, I thought you've been maybe in this medical world for like 10 years.
Thank you for the compliment.
You
Thank
look
you.
very beautiful. You look very polished. And I'm so humbled to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I would like to know what's one of the most spontaneous things you've done recently?
One of the most spontaneous things
Yes.
was to come here at Bell Beauty
Okay.
and accept to have my makeup redone.
And you look
'Cause,
fabulous.
I feel fabulous. I feel pampered.
Yes.
When I came for the interview, I thought, I did my makeup in the morning. You know how you're feeling confident. And then I got here and the makeup artist was like, no, mom, we are redoing this. And I liked the look.
Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy that you felt at home.
Thank you.
And that, you let us touch you up a little bit here and there. Now, Dr. Sabrina, tell us, how has your journey been like in the medical field, being a woman? What made you make the decision that you want to go into medicine?
So my journey to become a doctor started from long time ago in around senior 4, when you know how you're deciding, should I do arts, should I do sciences? Because all the time I was thinking maybe I should become a journalist. I was inspired by a lady called Lucy Banya.
Okay.
She used to read news on UBC. I want to meet that lady one day.
Yes.
Because she really inspired me. But also I wanted to be an air hostess. I wanted to be so many things. And then I ended up at Mount St. Mary's Namagunga, where they were teaching us a lot of, how to be the best in everything. And so I was doing both my arts and sciences really well. And I had this conversation with my dad. I think when you're 16, it's the
Yes.
time when you're thinking, I can be anything I want. And I wanted to be a judge.
Oh, wow.
And my father said, girl, you don't just wake up and become a judge. You have to first do history, economics, literature, and then you do law. Then he surprised me and he said, a lot of people are doing law, but not everyone becomes a judge. For me, that was a real, okay.
Yes.
And then he further said that many people who do law end up not doing law, but joining the police force. That scared me into saying, no, I'm going to do my sciences really well and end up in biology class. And that was a good thing, because when I did physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, I was almost confident that coming from Namagunga, I'd end up in the medical school class.
Yeah.
But I was also inspired by my mom. My mom was a nurse, and I think that watching her all the time dealing with patients, dealing with little children, could have impacted my decision moving forward. Yeah. I have an older sister who's a medical doctor, and obviously her being the older sister to me I wanted to follow in her footsteps. But I'm glad I ended up at the medical school.
Yes.
And I love being a doctor.
Wow. What a beautiful journey. And it's beautiful that you had that inspiration from your mother and your sister. That means that you grew up. And also asking your father and him being able to, direct you in a little...
And moreover, my father was not even a medic. My father was a mining engineer.
Okay.
But I think he was wise.
Yes.
He was there to listen, but also to guide. He wasn't the kind of dad who was like forcefully become a mining engineer because I'm also one. He wanted everyone to be whomever they chose to be.
Wow, that is beautiful. So as a doctor, as a lecturer, as a mother, as a wife, how have you been able to balance and the different social responsibilities that you have? How have you been able to balance the work life and the home life? Give us a little bit of that.
So for me, I feel privileged and truly honored to be all those things that you mentioned at the beginning of this interview. And I want to say that I've had a lot of support from my family, especially my dear husband. I've had a lot of support from my immediate family, but also from my children. And the mere fact that at home we can afford house help,
Yes.
I think those guys have been extremely, extremely a big deal in my support system. And so I'm grateful to the fact that I can be able to do all these things and be able to deliver. But I want to say that as a career woman, who's also a family woman, I think that having a good conversation with my husband and him supporting my whatever I choose to do is critical and important.
Yes. And to the husbands out there, you've heard it from a doctor, doctor who's been there for 30 years. Please support your wives.
True.
Please
So
support
like when I told him I want to go back and do my master's, he was like, but I'm also going to do my master's. And I'm like, so what do we do? I have to go and do my master's.
Yes.
After the master's, I have to go and do my fellowship. And then I have to go and do my PhD. And he was like, girl, aren't you ever going to stop reading?
Yes.
But the support has been there and I'm grateful for that support. Yeah.
And I love that because you're thriving together. He didn't tell you, you know what, Dr. Sabrina, sit down.
Oh my gosh, maybe one day he did. He's like, Nyabo. Like, when are you going to stop being a student and be wife, like wife?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's a negotiation.
Yeah.
I enjoy reading. I enjoy going back to school. And interestingly, he's doing his second master's now, so he's a student.
Oh, wow.
And I'm the one supporting him and asking him questions. Did you pass your exams, honey? Because he always asked me, did you pass your exams? Have your results come back? So yeah.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. So I want to know, have you had a full circle moment, given that you've been a pediatrician for 30 years? Have you had a full circle moment of maybe a child that you treated when they were a baby, now they're bringing their own children, or something along those lines? Do you have any of those beautiful moments?
Yes, those full circle moments for me are such a joy. I used to call myself a grandmother pediatrician because people would walk up to me and they were like, you know what, my mom told me you were my pediatrician. Now I'm bringing you my baby. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I need to retire. But the other full circle moment, Alice, for me has been seeing a child who I treated and now has come back to become a pediatrician as well. For me, that gives me so much joy. And I look at this person and I'm like, wow, I can't wait for her to become a pediatrician so that then she takes over my reins.
That is really beautiful. I believe as a person who has been there for quite a number of years, seeing that gives you hope to even keep on going. Soon you'll be great grandmother.
Can't wait for that time.
So this is the Women's Month, and we're celebrating the amazing women out there, and it's really a privilege to have Dr. Sabrina here with us, because come on women, If you think you can't have it all, she's a beautiful example that you can be a mother, a wife, and anything that you want to be. As long as you set your mind to it, you can achieve it. Now, Doctor, I would love to know, how has it been like being a lecturer at the same time, you know, given that some of these professions, they're really challenging, male-dominated, but you're a female, you're a doctor, you're a senior lecturer at that. How has it been like for you handling and dealing with that?
Wow, thank you so much. I teach at the School of Medicine at Makerere University, and I'm grateful also to be a senior lecturer. But apart from being a senior lecturer, I lead the Pediatric Infectious Diseases Ward as the head of FARM, and I support the Ministry of Health in advising and providing technical support whenever I'm called upon.
Yes.
Now, teaching is something that I thought I would not do, but I love to teach. And I think that teaching gives me one of my greatest joys. When you teach people, when you mentor them, when you support them, and they become better than you, it's really a great joy.
Yes.
So I teach pediatrics, and in particular pediatric infectious diseases, but I also teach adolescent health. And when we teach as medical doctors, it's practical. It's seeing your patients and helping to navigate the area and the space of working in a public hospital. But I also work in a private hospital sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. So teaching for me is something that comes naturally because I like to talk.
Okay.
I think many women like to talk.
Yes.
And I know that women should be able to speak at least 22,000 words every day.
Wow.
That's just how we were made. So teaching gives me the opportunity to speak my 22,000 words every day.
Oh, wow. And how did you come up with the adolescent clinic? What motivated you to start that up, to be part of that?
So an adolescent is somebody aged 10 to 19 years. As pediatricians, we usually think maybe a baby is a newborn baby and then up to 5 years.
Yes.
When I was a medical student, we were not even taught adolescent health. But becoming a pediatrician, I soon understood that there's a group of children, 10 to 19, who we don't ever talk about. And I wanted to do my research in that area.
Yes.
It's a story for another day, but I ended up not doing that research.
Okay.
But ended up doing research in infectious diseases.
Yes.
But eventually I came back full circle and started to get interested in this group of people. Because as pediatricians, we worry a lot about newborn babies. We worry about the under 5 mortality. We worry about children as they are called. But we know that children grow until the age of 19.
Yes.
And sadly, when we make these children survive up to the age of 5, up to the age of 10, we sort of forget about them in their second decade of life. And they have problems. And as I've delved into this area, I have realized that adolescents are a special and unique group of people. And adolescents also have problems. They are very inquisitive. They end up dying. They die from things that are preventable. They die from road traffic accidents. They die because maybe they are pregnant and they have a miscarriage or an abortion, or even they die of suicide. For me, that is real. For a parent to bring up their child from the age of 0 to 5 and from 5 to 10, and then they fall through the cracks of our healthcare system is not okay. And so I have been a champion, not only in Uganda, but in the region. And also I want to be a global champion for adolescent health, to see that no adolescent should be left behind. Today, when I receive an adolescent at our clinic, which we started 11 years ago, I feel like this is my opportunity to teach the postgraduate students, the medical students, that this person who has come to us is a unique individual and has the potential to grow up and transition safely through adolescence. I don't know if you remember when you were an adolescent yourself. Many things could have happened.
Yes, and that's an age which is very delicate. You have to handle that age special because they can make, they feel like they're on top of the world. They can make their own decisions, and if there's nobody to guide them, then they can...
Things can go wrong. They can fall off the radar.
Yes.
And falling off the radar doesn't mean like just becoming a whole lost opportunity. Sometimes it means that this young person makes wrong choices, and the wrong choices may include not doing exercise. The wrong choices can include not going to school. The wrong choices can include starting to smoke or even starting an alcohol binge.
Yes.
But we guide, we support, we encourage, and also we treat. I've had adolescents who have big conflicts with their parents, like to the extent of physical fights. And sometimes I tell the parents, calm down. Once upon a time, even you were young. You were an adolescent.
Yes.
And I don't know what happened between you and your parent, but give this person grace.
Yes.
Let us support them to go through a transition period. And then they will become adults and they will look back and wonder, what on earth was I doing?
Because there's a point in life where you look back and you're like, okay, really, I was being very immature. But when you have somebody who guided you, then you think back and you're like, I should have listened. Or thank God I listened to that person, so that that's the only way I was able to make a better choice. So I love that you have really targeted the adolescents, their health, and not only their health, but also
their well-being.
Yes, their well-being.
Because, you know, these days in health, we don't only talk about physical health, we also talk about wellness.
Yes.
And wellness is a huge thing, Alice. Like, wellness includes your mental health, your physical health, the skin, your smile, your teeth, your well-being, and even your sexual health. Because you cannot just be physically healthy. If you're mentally unwell, if you're emotionally unwell, then you're going to get into physical unwellness.
Oh wow, that is really amazing. I've learned, and you know, it's like you've given me a light bulb moment right there. And I really pray that you reach that global level.
Talking about global level. So last year in September, I was invited by the Novance Health Sciences and also the Majid Sadigi Global Health. And they honored me with an award.
Wow.
That for me was like my moment of being honored on a global platform. But you don't stop, you keep doing, you keep working. And now my big idea is to see that I mentor other people to do the work that I do, because there's strength in numbers. You cannot be alone, some soldier, doing all the work by yourself. You need people to believe in your cause. And so as people believe in my cause, I would like that they do things that I do, that I'm passionate about. I know that on the African continent right now, there are people who are also interested in adolescent health, who are practicing adolescent health. So my dear friends, my sisters, they're all ladies, pushing to do adolescent health in Ghana, in Kenya, in Botswana, in Nigeria. I feel like we are on the path to changing the way things are done on this continent. Of course, there are men as well. At our adolescent clinic in Makerere and Mulago, I work with Dr. Joseph Rujumba, who I think is one of the male champions who pushes for adolescent health.
Wow. Congratulations, and I can't wait to see you having more wins. That would be amazing. So among all those 5 things that I'd mentioned, I forgot one. You're part of Mothers Union.
Oh, yes.
Tell me, how does that feel? Because I know when you were younger, you probably weren't even interested.
True.
But now, how does that feel like? And how is that going for you?
So I fellowship with All Saints Church in Mutundwe.
Okay.
which is part of Church of Uganda. And my parents-in-law
Yes.
are the ones who inspired me to join Mothers Union. Because my mother-in-law, she was one of those who started the Mothers Union Fellowship at our church. And at the time of her death, God rest her soul in peace, she'd been married for 53 years.
Wow.
So passionate, so dedicated to the Mothers Union. And so every time I go for a fellowship or a meeting with the Mothers Union, I first of all remember my mother-in-law. And then also I find a sisterhood that pushes us together. The theme for this next 3 years in the Mothers Union is join us and be with us. Because mothers are the leaders of the home. They are the first teachers, they're the first doctors. But if you have a mother who is a Christian, who supports her family in a Christian way, I think it is even more powerful.
Yes, it's very beautiful.
Are you a member of the Mothers Union?
Not yet.
I hope you join. I hope you join.
Yeah, I think in the next couple of years,
You know?
you never know.
Exactly.
You never
For me,
know.
it's that white uniform with a blue sash that makes us feel like, togetherness.
Yeah.
In time of joy, in time of sorrow, the Mothers Union League will be there.
Wow. Amazing. I'm truly inspired by you and so blessed that I've gotten to meet you. So apart from your husband, because I've heard how supportive he has been, this journey, 30-year journey. Wow, amazing. Is there anybody else who has been supportive? How have your children looked up to you? Have they encouraged you in one way or the other? Tell me a little bit more.
Sure, yes. I have 5 children, the youngest of whom is 18. And there are 3 boys and 2 girls, and they are all very supportive in their own way. Although my 2 daughters are not here, I feel like they are one of the biggest support system I have.
Yeah.
It's a sisterhood. It's us moving together. And they call all the time. They find out how are you doing, what's going on. Boys are more laid back.
Yeah.
And let's say the older women who have daughters, just kidding. Even the boys are amazing.
Yeah.
But when you have a daughter, you can chat about literally anything and everything under the sun. I also have a group of friends with whom we joined Senior 1.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Although we don't meet all the time, we keep in touch. And I feel that that's also a great opportunity to remind each other about how far we have come.
Yes.
And obviously my workmates are a big social support system. I have a friend with whom, first of all, I was her mentor, I was her supervisor, but now we are at the same level and we support each other, push each other.
Yeah.
But I have mentors who always push me to beyond the call of duty.
Yeah.
And I want to call out to people like Professor Philippa Musoke, Professor Majid Sadigi, Dr. Betsy Fefa, and others who have really been there for me in my career path.
You're the true definition of no man can be an island.
Of course,
because you
definitely
have so many
not.
beautiful, supportive people in your life.
When I was like for example, a Sewankambo fellow, after my Masters of Pediatrics, I did my fellowship in infectious diseases.
Yes.
And the day I was nominated to be a Sewankambo fellow, I don't know if you know Professor Sewankambo. No. He's like the epitome of medicine in our hospital.
Yes.
And as a Sewankambo fellow, I would always say, I want to make Professor Nelson Sewankambo proud.
Yeah.
I want to be in a space that makes me better. And people like Professor Harriet Mayanja, Professor Moses Kamia, they all pushed me. Yeah. And now for me to be, like, for example, chairperson of the board of the Infectious Diseases Research Council,
yes,
where my former professors are the ED on the board, it makes me feel like truly honored.
Amazing. Like today, I think among the women who inspire me, you've come onto my list, honestly speaking.
Thank you.
I love the way you carry yourself. I love that you're showing us that, you know, you need people around you to
You do.
support you, to hold your hand, and let them do that for you. And you grow together and you become excellent
Thank
people in this, in this country, on this continent. And I would love for you to give a word out there to the women out there who maybe they have a dream, they have a vision, but then they feel down, they feel like maybe they can't make it. Maybe there are mothers out there who gave up on their dream. They're like, you know what, let me concentrate on being a mother, and yet they can still be able to push themselves and achieve something in this life. What word would you give to them?
Wow. I like how you asked about a dream. And you know what? Dreams can only be dreams until you make them a reality. We should all be able to dream big and don't stop dreaming and make those dreams a reality in whatever space we are in. I know that in the Women's Month there's going to be a lot of talking about the theme of women empowerment, of women's rights. But let us not forget, we cannot do it alone as women. We need to do it with our daughters, with us, people in our spheres, but also with our partners. And our biggest partners are our spouses. Sometimes our biggest partners are people we work with. Sometimes the biggest partners are our children. So for me, I'd like to say that yes, women, we can do it. And if you choose to do something, do it to the best of your ability. Don't be limited by the fact that you're a woman. You can be a woman, you can be a mom, you can be a grandmother, you can be whatever you choose to be, but do it to the best of your ability. I also want to say, before I forget, that in whatever we do, we should put God first.
Definitely.
Every time I read Proverbs 31, I remember the Proverbs 31 woman, that you should be able to turn wool into gold, and that you should hold your family to the highest level of support. As a woman, I prioritize my family. And if we had to do this interview today, when it's my son's school day, I would not show up here. It's that serious. Prioritize your family. Because after we are old and, you're needing extra dentures and what have you, you will retire and go back to your family. So even as you rise up the ranks, remember your family comes first. But God before your family.
Wow. You've heard it all. Please make sure that you put God first in each and everything that you do. Get a mentor. Get a mentor. Get somebody who will walk the journey with you in each and every aspect of your life. Have your partners. Have conversations with them. Grow together. Build your homes. Your home is, I don't think you can go anywhere else.
Home
if
is
it's
where
not your home.
Your heart is.
Yes.
And home is where love should grow.
True.
It should start from home and then spread out to everyone. You cannot give what you don't have.
True.
If you're loved, you'll give love to others. If you are throttled at home, you'll be like this market women who quarrel, backsaid them katale, and then you quarrel from home. So let us try and live peacefully with other people, but also respectfully. For me, respect is something that is so important, and you don't force people to respect you. You start by respecting yourself, and then people will respect you.
Wow. There's so much to learn from this episode. Leave your comments, please, down below. Go follow Dr. Sabrina. My goodness, I've learned so much from you today, and I'm so blessed to have met you. And thank you for your service in this country. And may God keep on uplifting you from glory to glory and for His glory.
Amen.
And blessings follow you. Till next time, this is Lifestyle Chats.